There he is. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Marcus?
Man, just trying to live a life, man. I'm trying to live a
Uh,
life like y'all.
What's going on? Trucker looks bright. What's going on, brother?
how's it going? How's it going? I didn't catch
Nice
your
to
name. I'm
meet you.
sorry.
My name is Alante, man. Extra mile coverage truck and insurance expert.
Alante, what's going on? Good to meet you, man. I appreciate you inviting me on, Marcus.
Man, no problem, man. So what's going on, man? First of all, what's your name? So we want to call you by your name because we gotta go keep saying trucking looks bright.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I appreciate it. It's
it,
TJ, TJ,
it was
TJ,
just
10x TJ on Instagram.
10x. Say it
10x
again.
TJ.
TJ.
10x TJ on IG. Yeah,
Okay, so we call you just TJ then. Cool,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
It's TJ. It's TJ. Absolutely.
All right, man. So where you from?
I'm from Jersey. I'm from
Oh,
Jersey.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Where
know
you
what
guys
it is.
from?
I don't know what it is about me. I'm from Cali, man. I'm in LA, but I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what it is. I'm getting so much love from the East Coast. Probably because I'm associated with Alante because he's in Georgia.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
I'm getting so much love from the East Coast, Jersey, uh, Maryland, Georgia, the Carolinas, Pennsylvania. I don't know why. I just don't know why.
I mean, they love trucking over here.
Yeah, there's that.
It's one of those meccas. They
Uh huh.
tapped in over here in trucking. They really is. They really are. They really are.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So I just keep getting the love, man. So I guess I appreciate it. So what do you do in the trucking? What exactly are you doing?
So I've been in trucking for a while. I started off in box trucking, but then I got into semis back in 2019. Right now, I own a fleet management company.
Okay.
So we manage over 32 units right now. We have a team of fleet managers. We manage trucks for fleet owners, for
Okay.
investors, different things. I own my own trucks as well. I got my own trucks on the road.
Okay.
Um, a lot of OTR stuff, right? A lot of dedicated work. But we doing some big things over here, man. Very exciting. When I first came across your page, I love the optimism. I love the bullishness that you have on 2026 because I feel the same. I
I'm
feel the same
aboard,
about
bro. That
2026.
if you look at everything that's talking about in 2026, Alante and I and CDO Shorty on our Friday podcast, we talk about this. We've been saying this since last year, right? It's our end of last year. Is about if you see everything that's going on right now, and if you look at the market, if you look at the rules that's getting changed, all these things are happening behind the scenes that people don't really see. So that's why when I talk about it. And I'm so bullish about it because I have the stats and data to back it up. I'm
Yeah,
not just saying it just to say it. I'm
yeah,
saying it because I see if you see the government doing a lot of things for truckers to make things easier, what does that tell you? That tells you that there's something happening, and it's going to happen quick,
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I tell people, man, like 2026 is going boom, bro. I'm telling everybody that, and
yeah,
nobody can knock me off of that because I'm in this and I see
yeah,
it, and it's
yeah.
just like it's going, bro. It's going to go.
Trucking works in cycles, right? And I've
Correct.
seen it. I've seen it go up. I've seen it go down. And you 2023, right? The trucking recession. You saw a
Right.
lot of people fall off.
Right.
A lot of people they lost their truck. They couldn't fit the bill.
Right.
Authority, what I mean? There was a lot of challenges, and
Right.
that's kind of where I became a transportation consultant. I kind of
Right.
came in the game,
Right.
uh, and you start to see the trajectory. Right now, I have a lot of trucks in the oil field,
Yep. Yep.
special
Yep.
minerals, right?
Uh-huh.
That's kind of what I focus on dedicated routes,
Right.
right?
Right.
The low bore, I kind of stay away from that a little bit. I
Of
don't really
course.
play that game.
Of course.
Yeah. And you start to see domestic product is going up in America. Domestic product is going up. You see that with the oil, you see that with the limestone, a lot of these plants, they're honing in-house, right? And that's kind of one of those things too, man. If your people catch that, you want to focus on domestic product, 100%.
Well, it also too that, right? But like you said, the key point you said was at home.
Yeah.
They focusing on things here. So you may hear a lot of people saying the market's crap, but they doing container work and they messing with the ports. Of course,
Yeah,
you're
they
gonna
know.
say that it's because that's gonna go down because the administration now is focusing on here. What's happening here? We trying to build here. That's another reason why flatbed going crazy. Because why? We
Yeah.
got infrastructure, we got manufacturing. Those things are gonna go up. So of
Yep.
course you're gonna have some things that's killing it, and you're gonna have some things that's not killing it. So if you are in the container and port work, you might want to look at something else because we're gonna still get things from the ports but not as much as we used to be. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things you got to understand is like when you're looking at this and understanding the market, it's like look at what the government is doing, and then if you're in trucking, gravitate to that. Say, I'm gonna go to what's happening at home. If that's
Correct.
what's happening, let me go from here to here. But the problem with a lot of truckers is they want to stay in one lane forever. That's how you get killed.
Yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
got killed. You got to be able to always say, like when I talk about it with the clients and stuff like that, consulting, you got to be a Swiss Army knife. You got to be like, I'm gonna do container, and then I'm gonna do drive-in, I'm gonna do oil field, I'm gonna do flatbed. That's how you continue to stay in the loop and continue to make that money.
100%. 100%. I completely agree. You gotta, and I talk about that too. Really, kind of like honing in on your niche, right? Like specializing on certain freight, like not jumping too much, like really being an expert in your field. There's so many ways to make money in trucking, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And yeah, the ports, man, you gotta stay away from the port. Anybody hauling port, man, you gotta be careful with the port. You know, it's one of those ways where you're really not maximizing your opportunities.
Right. Right. So what oil fields are you hitting? Because I used to have some trucks in the oil fields as well. So where are you looking at, or where are you doing? Where your trucks at in the oil fields?
So we started off in Ohio,
Okay.
and then we started bridging out all the way to Texas. So we everywhere in Texas, South
Okay.
Texas, East Texas, West
Okay.
Texas. We
Yep.
out there
Yep.
heavy. In Odessa right now, it was San Antonio was bubbling up. It was the last couple of months. San Antonio was where the money's at. Right now, it moved back over there to Odessa. So Texas has a lot of hot spots. They running up to
Yeah.
New Mexico. But there's money out there.
So I have a question then. So how is it now? Because you know how Texas is cracking down on the illegal immigrants.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember when I was down there, they had a lot of people, a
yeah,
lot. So
yeah.
how is it now in the oil field? Has it gotten better ever since that Texas has been cracking down, or is it still kind of the same?
So DOT has picked up, right? They
Uh-huh.
they they cracking down heavy. It's funny, right? Because you'll see a lot of those, even the guys from Mexico, they'll come over with their CDL, they'll drive, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the mechanics that I network out there with my
Mm-hmm.
units that I have
Yep.
out there, they come from Mexico,
They
they
from
go out
Mexico.
there,
Yep.
they
Mm-hmm.
changing a tire for $100,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
going back. You know what I mean? Like they
Mm-hmm.
beating the market.
Right.
But as long as, like, especially right now, you got the English efficiency. Like
Mm-hmm.
my recruitment department, when we're hiring, we try to get it's very tough to get those quality drivers. There's a high turnover rate in
Yeah. Yeah.
trucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
These drivers, they're not trying to sit still.
No. No.
And they bad with their money, so they'll start a new job broke.
Yep.
First
Yep.
the first week they want an advancement. So when we recruit, we try to go for the top of the top. Good units, good routes. That's kind of what we feel. That's the formula. Like really, as an investor myself,
Yeah.
as a fleet owner, as somebody that works with clients,
Yeah.
you got a good route, you got a good truck, and you got a good driver. That's the formula for success. Is all you really need. You need good work, you need that good equipment, and you need a good driver behind the wheel, man. You need a good captain.
And I'll ask you this question then. Out of those three, what's the most important? I'll tell you what I think.
Honestly, I don't think one trumps the other.
I think, in my opinion, I think the driver is the most important thing.
So what was the three again?
The route, the equipment, and the driver.
You're
Right? I mean,
missing
you
one
got,
though.
huh?
You're missing one though.
Talk to me.
The mechanic.
Well, no, listen. Look. If you got good equipment, right? I
Right.
work with investors. Like,
Okay.
and the investors that I'm working with, they coming in 2, 3 units. I'm working
Yeah.
right now with a carrier over there in Texas. Big guy, like super big. He live in Manhattan. We just had dinner the other night.
Yeah.
Super big. He's growing his company to 100 trucks. We're working on helping him get some units out in the road.
Right.
When you're buying a semi truck, you're buying it's an investment. It's probably one of the biggest purchases next to your house that you're gonna buy. You're not
For
out
sure.
here just swinging 50, 60, $70,000 every day.
For sure.
And too many people fail at the buying the truck part. They fall in
Mhm.
love with the outside, not knowing that the inside is a nightmare.
Right.
How you inspecting your truck? What are you doing? How you diagnosing it? Are you
Right.
test driving it properly? Right? You
Right.
can't just, if you spinning the block with a semi truck, that's not a test drive.
No. And that's what the dealerships try to get you at. Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and drive it around the block. Like, bro, We
Nah,
need more than that.
nah. I'll be back in 2 hours.
I need you back in 2 hours, and I need to put that thing on the trailer too, though.
I need to grab the trailer.
Put a trailer on there too. See, a lot of people don't do that when they test drive semi. They test drive the truck, but you got to test drive it at least with a trailer, at least with something in it to see how it's pulling, how it react with that. Because the trucks act totally different when it's not hooked up to a trailer.
No, you seriously, one of the biggest values that you could bring in. I don't want to promote on your platform. Forgive me, but I got an ebook where I show people how to buy trucks,
Yeah, yeah,
and that ebook right there could save you or will save you thousands of dollars.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
seriously, because not only are they not properly negotiating these trucks, they're
Mm-hmm.
not properly inspecting these trucks, and that you wrote that into the deal.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote that into the deal. I can't
Yep.
even tell you how many thousands of dollars I've saved people off of units because we're looking for the right things. We're asking the right questions. You got the right team. You're diagnosing this truck properly, engine, transmission, full computer diagnosis.
Right.
Before I take that truck off the lot, you better give it to me tip top shape. This is an
Exactly.
investment.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, not to rebuttal the mechanic one. If you do your due diligence from the beginning, you allow yourself to have runway,
Right.
right? Where,
Sure.
where owner operators mess up is, and I've seen this over and over and over and over again. My family's in trucking as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we heavy in the checking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You start with no money, a
Sure.
bad truck, and you on
Yep.
the low board.
Yep.
That's a recipe for disaster.
You done right
Sure.
there.
You're done in a month.
You done.
In a month, you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good truck, have some money in your pocket and get a good route. Give yourself, right, like any business. People get in the truck and think it's gonna be, it ain't a gig economy.
Right.
Like any business, you need 6 months, right? You need 6 months of capital to get you flowing, to get you rolling. And a good
Exactly.
equipment, a good route will really allow you to get that.
Also, here's a question I got for you then, because we're gonna rebuttal this a little bit.
All right, cool,
If
cool,
I
cool.
got a good route and a good truck, but I got a terrible driver.
It goes back to the
I,
maintenance.
so you now you gotta fire fast. You gotta fire fast.
Okay, so you got to fire fast and you got to hire fast. But when you hiring fast, because you got a route, say you got a good route, you got to get that truck moving. So now you got to hire fast, but then that's where you can make a mistake as a trucking company owner, because you trying to keep that route, because we all know if that truck ain't moving on that route, you're gonna lose that route. So
Yeah,
that's
you
why I
get it.
always
I feel
feel
you.
that, because I own trucks and I've been through the whole ups and downs with all of that. I've come to find out is things on the truck, say you got a truck, that can be fixed easily because you can go to a mechanic and get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
finding a good driver is hard. My thing, I've always tell Alonte, we always talk about drivers. I say for every one good driver, I feel like there's 10 bad ones. So you're
Mm,
really rolling the dice. You're really
mm,
like, man, I need to have a perfect driver, but there's no such thing as a perfect driver. So you got to figure out which of the bad things that you would take, because we all know drivers, like you said, drivers, there's good drivers out there, but it's always something with them, right? It's either they're
yeah.
broke, either they got money problems, or you know what I'm saying? It's always something. So I always feel like
Yeah.
for me, my problem was the drivers. And that's the reason why I wanted to scale to 100 trucks. But then you're thinking, if I get 100 good drivers, that means I gotta go through 1,000 bad drivers.
Yeah,
You know what
nah,
I'm saying?
for
You
real,
start
for
to
real.
think big. So that's why I always feel like, especially when I talk to people that are trying to start their own company and not be in the truck, I say the most important thing is the driver, because the driver can make or break you, hands down. Like I say, equipment, okay, cool, man. Hey, that went down, then you got to pay for it. At least you can pay for it and get it fixed. But that driver, now you got to fire him and fire somebody else. That's the
But
hardest thing ever when you're owning a trucking company.
my
Yeah.
rebuttal to that though, Mark, is that sometimes you don't know you have a good driver until the mechanic tells you. You can have a truck that
True.
starts off well and that's where the good mechanic comes in.
Yep.
So you have a truck that starts off well and he's driving over the road and your mechanic say, man, you know what? It comes back, yo, this driver fucking your truck up, bro.
See,
Happens all
He's
the
fucking it
time.
up, bro. Your
that
mechanic
Happens
catches
all the
it
time.
first.
it's
Happens all the
tough.
time. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough. That's what
I
I'm
had a
saying.
mechanic. I had a mechanic believe in my driver today. I mean, but with mechanics, you never know. It's like, yo, how much is this is finesse, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah,
really? I didn't notice all them problems.
Well,
yeah.
exactly. Like, the truck is
It's
fine. What are
true.
you talking about? I'm like, nah, you got this, this, and this. And you just like, so that's another thing too. You got to worry about the industry, especially being on
Super
the
finesses.
outside. Is you got to worry about the mechanic, right?
Super finesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Oh man, they can tell you something and hit you with the okie doke. You be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you be so much in a rush to get that truck back on the road to make money But then they was like, oh no, this might be a DOT violation. So they hit you with that. So you're like, damn, that's like you telling me a DOT violation. I gotta get it fixed. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
trucking is one of those industries, man, where you want to you if you really want to do it right in trucking, you got to be a wolf.
Yep.
There's too many egos in trucking. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And you got to demand respect. I done have mechanics put the old piece back on. I'm not playing that
Oh
bill.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not paying that bill. You're not, no, not me. Not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Put my old piece back on. Go ahead.
Right.
You
Right.
know, do the extra work because you're trying to charge me $900 for a tire.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening. Not happening.
Yep.
Right. So you really have to know and understand the game. But I do want to say this. I think this is important. Drivers. You were saying something about drivers. I got a I got a recruitment department, right? And we had a meeting today. We go over like how do you get better drivers, right? How do we
Right. Right.
increase, right? How do you get more inquiries, right? Influx of driver applications.
Right.
But I have a formula for drivers that I believe allows or at least sets the platform for longevity. Um, and I got a lot of drivers that work under my payroll, and that's comfortability. They want to be comfortable,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Especially if you're doing OTR. Like
Yep.
this is part of those core fundamentals, right? They need to be safe,
Mm-hmm.
right? They gotta like their schedule. Like their schedule has to work with their life. Like they gotta sign
Mm-hmm.
up for OTR is not for everybody. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
no, not to discriminate, but I'll ask somebody like you you sure you're good going over the road? Like is that
Correct.
really something? Like, yeah, I know a lot of people got they got commitments back at home and it makes it hard, right? I'm a father of two, husband, married 13 years.
Yep.
I can't go over the road. It'll
Right.
kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're making money, right? So they're comfortable, they're safe, they like their schedule, and they're making money, right? Those four things right there. You give that to a driver. I got drivers that been with me for a year and a half, 2 years. And
Mm-hmm.
that's very, very like that's company status right there when it comes to keeping a driver. That
For
driver
sure.
retention
Yeah.
is one of those, it's part of the game. Yeah, you
Right.
get a driver, can you keep them?
That's
Right?
true. True.
That's it, yeah.
I can definitely tell you when I was hiring drivers, when I first started, you kind of want to tell them what you hear. Like I said, you make mistakes. So then I started just saying, this is how it's going to be. This is
Yeah.
what I need. This is what I expect. If you can't do it, tell me now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't sugarcoat it and try to, because I'm telling you, this is how it's going to be. And when I figured that out, I had pretty good drivers. And I got good drivers after that because I needed to be like this. If you can't do this, I'm not upset because basically you're just saving me time. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
find somebody else. Comfortability, when I got all my trucks, they had everything. My drivers can definitely say they had everything. They had microwaves, fridge, blankets, waters. They had
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
they needed
That's
in
that
that
OTR
truck.
package. Yeah,
Man,
that
they had
OTR
the
package.
APUs. Man, I had what is the inverters in all my trucks.
Need
So I
that.
definitely made
Yeah,
them
yeah,
comfortable. And I say the number one thing too with truckers. I mean, well, not with truckers. When you owning a company and you have truckers, never ever play with their money. A
yeah,
lot of people that I know that own trucking companies, they will play with drivers' money. That is a disaster. If
yeah.
payday is Friday, pay
Bam,
them on Friday. No
bam.
matter
Yeah,
if you got to pay a 20K transmission, you still pay them.
yeah,
Because you're a business. And a
yeah,
lot of people will own these trucking companies, which I know, and I've learned from them. Oh man, I ain't got it. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna have to hit you next week.
that's
Drivers
crazy.
drivers don't need to go through that. They're a company driver. They work for you. No matter what happens to you, you still got to pay your drivers.
For
Yeah,
sure.
So
yeah,
that the drivers, that's why you got to take care of your drivers because, like you said, I feel like like I said, they're important. So
yeah,
if you a good driver, man, you ain't got to worry about no bread. Here you
yeah,
go. Here you go. Take care of your drivers, man. And I feel like a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, some trucking companies kind of mess it up for drivers because then when you're talking to drivers trying to hire them, they're real jaded because they've
yeah.
been through some stuff, and they're
A
just like,
trauma. Yeah,
it's
super
trauma.
trauma.
It's like
Super
old
trauma.
trauma, and you just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man, what happened?
yeah,
Yeah, bro, I've been working for this company. I ain't got paid in 8 weeks. First of all, why'd you work for a company for 8 weeks and didn't get paid?
That's
You should
yeah,
have
crazy.
left after the first week. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
For real. Yeah, yeah,
But they fall for the okie doke too, right? Yeah, they said he's gonna pay me, and then they don't get paid, and now they trying to go to another company, but they real on their guard and they real jaded, and they have that trauma.
yeah. A lot of where I see that is, and I, I'll tell drivers too all the time when they come in with that trauma. I tell them, you're not dealing with an owner operator.
Yeah,
Like this, if that's what you think this is, that's not what this is. You're not
it's a
dealing with owner
business.
operators. Yeah, no, it's
Right.
a business.
It's a
Like
business.
every unit that we have has a $20,000 credit card to back it up.
Exactly.
Right. So the you got the little independent operators that
Yeah.
got their fleet owners, right, that they're
Mm-hmm.
not running their business correctly. Right. There's a lack there.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have proper funds or sufficient funds to, whether it's floating payroll, right? Because maybe
Mm-hmm.
they didn't get paid out, right? Whatever it was, factoring,
Right.
carrier didn't send a drop,
Right.
right? So you don't got that money, so now you gotta wait, you gotta come next week or whatever it is. Now you gotta start, right? That's you gotta have capital to back up your business,
Oh yeah, for
and
sure. For
yeah,
sure.
I stress that payroll is very important with that.
For sure. I when I had my big contract and I first was working with them, they were very old school with the money. I had to wait 90 days to get paid.
Wow.
I was on the net 90. And
Yeah,
people would
yeah,
be like, what? I'm like, that's the reason why we have factoring companies, because the shippers, a
yeah,
lot of big shippers don't pay you right away.
yeah,
Only way
yeah,
they started paying me faster was because I started working on it and they saw me as an asset. But I had to, so imagine I had to float my company for 3 months. So that's the
yeah,
type of money that you had to have. And I didn't just have like one or two trucks. I had like 10,
yeah,
12, 15
yeah,
trucks. And I was paying owner operators. So think about how much money you got to have to float that operation. But then once you
yeah.
get paid, you happy. But you got to be smart with it though. See what I'm saying? So when people become owner operators and you want to get that direct freight, you got to understand you got to have bread. You got to have something to float yourself till that next paycheck, because some of these shippers don't mess with factoring companies. They
Yeah,
tell you straight up, nah, you got to wait for your bread. And you
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, how much money you got in your account? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for real. Yeah, yeah,
But you'll get to that point though, Marcus, that when you start doing the net 30, net 60, net 90s,
Mm-hmm.
you get to the point at the end of those 90 days where you get paid every single day subsequently.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
it's just check after check after check after
Yep.
check. And
Yep.
then it's able to float those expenses, but there's no reason. I never not pay my drivers. That's
Right.
crazy, bro. I just don't understand that idea.
yeah. Not even I think even the idea of strong arming somebody, like I'm not gonna pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I treat money how I want to be treated, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it in the ether list. I'm gonna give you what you're owed. Now it's up to you to give me back what I'm owed. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
That's how you gotta treat your drivers or anybody, right? Like I'm super big on morals. Like I'm a man of my word. That's all I
Right.
got. That's all
Right.
I got.
That's all
You
you
know what I
got.
mean?
Yeah.
All I got is my word.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
if this is payday, this is payday. You're gonna get your drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if something went wrong, that means payroll gotta get fired.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So I got a question for you then. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, because you're a fleet manager, obviously not in the truck. I did the same thing too, right? Once
Yeah.
I got out the truck and I focused on the business. So do
Yeah.
you think that there should be people that are still in the truck and run their business, or do you think it's more beneficial to get out the truck to run the whole business?
I think it's depending on where you're at in your life,
Okay.
right? So when I work with truck drivers, I don't necessarily get them to go from 0 to 100,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like that's too high of a barrier of entry.
Right.
You know, to start off small,
Right.
right? Like I don't I also encourage that you start off without an authority, right? Unless you're just trying to season it. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that, because you start to create this high barrier of entry for yourself. So how can
Yep.
you increase your reward but decrease your risk?
Exactly.
But there's a strategy behind it, right? You gotta find a good partner carrier to lease
Mm-hmm.
your equipment on with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta fact check it. You gotta ask for the rate. You gotta qualify this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you got to see, okay, what do I want? How much money am I going to make? Is this dedicated, right? I'm very pro dedicated, drop off, pick up, same. I like routine
Not
with
the
all
low
my
boy.
trucks.
Not the low
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, this it's too many, right? And
Yep.
what happens when you have a roller coaster, right? You start having good weeks, bad weeks,
Right.
2 or 3 bad weeks back to back. It could put you out the game,
Right.
right? So we talking business right now. I mean, like, so when I'm working with a client, it's like, all right, you're a truck driver, but what you know about business,
Mm. Yep.
right? Let's tap into what's really good, where your success really lies.
Right.
Have money to back you up, manage your money correctly, have a strategy, direct route, good equipment. You're the driver, you don't got to worry about much.
Right.
So you start off right there as that one truck. You start to learn the game. You get your introductory, right? You start to learn the game. You start to grow, right? I had 3 trucks by the end of 2 years of actually getting into the semi trucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, right? I use credit stacking. I started tapping into different sources that I can level up on and really
Right.
take advantage of my situation. But I did that all as a simple owner operator.
Right.
You know, and anybody could do it. And then you go, start learning how to dispatch, then you learn how to broker. You can move up the ladder. Sure, there's a
Right.
million ways to make money.
Yep.
But I like the low risk one. I don't even want an authority. Don't stain my DOT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
want to
Scan
pay cargo
theirs.
insurance. You
Scan
know what
theirs.
I mean? I'm good with Bobtail.
Yep.
Non-trucking liability.
Yeah.
That's my insurance is $300 a month for my
Right.
trucks. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I don't see that there's a lot of money in there. It's because I'm right here. This pool right here, very successful.
Right.
So that's what I showed them right there. Starting. I don't know if that answered your question. My bad, Marcus.
No, you good. You good. What do you think as far as when? Well, I'll give you a little bit to that. When I talk to a lot of truckers that are thinking about being owner operators, I tell them that right there. What are you trying to do? Right? What exactly are you trying to do? A lot of people don't even have a game plan before they even are trying to be a company, not a company driver, trying to be an owner operator. Right?
Yeah.
They're just like, I just want to be an owner operator to make more money. But what's the game plan?
Mm,
What's your game plan? Are you just want to be owner operators for more freedom, or you want to be? What are you doing? But the biggest thing that I see owner operators go wrong is they'll lease on with the company that's doing freight off the low board. See, that's not consistent freight. So there's nothing wrong with leasing onto a carrier, and we talked about this. Alante and I, we talk about this all the time. This is like right now how things are kind of slow in some areas. Why not lease onto a carrier that has a dedicated lane and get through 2025 and then reposition in 2026? So you
boom.
could use lease and own as a strategy to get you through some tough times. Say you can't get direct freight, but hey, I know this carrier, they got direct freight and they're taking on lease ons. Do that. But
Yeah.
understand the contract that you have. But a lot of people want to lease on to a carrier and say, okay, we're going to get loads off the load board. Like you said, it's going to be like this. We
Yeah.
want it to be like this. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe the rate may be a little low, but at least it's like this. It's consistency. That's
Correct.
what you want in trucking. You want consistency.
Yep.
Everybody's chasing the high rates, but if the high rate is not consistent, it does
Out.
nothing for you.
Correct.
It's nothing
Listen,
for
my
you at all.
my clients will take $1,000 consistently a week, then $3,000 every other. You know what I mean? Roller coaster.
And then you don't know because, like, we all know in this industry, you feel more comfortable when you know what you're doing every day. See, when you're on the low board, you don't know what's going on every single day. It,
Yeah.
it, it could be different things. You don't know where you're going. You don't have no schedule. You just waiting on your dispatcher to call you to find something. That's
Yep.
just not the play if you want to be in this industry long term. Got to
Not the
find
play.
something consistent. You can find it yourself, or you can lease on with a carrier, and they have consistent freight. But what you want to do to be successful in trucking is you want to chase consistency. Don't chase the high rates, because if you chase the high rates, you're gonna go out of business.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
go out
Yeah.
of business. You say, I just want consistent freight. I want freight from Monday through Friday. I'm cool with that. I'll build with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you think, Alante?
Consistency. Yeah. Yeah.
I think consistency is key, but I
Yeah.
also think that people have to value the. I think about the routes too. I think about actually like where you're going and the terrain and stuff. And a lot of on the routes nowadays, OTR. Some of these routes, man, going inside the mountains, it's causing a lot of these driver turnovers. Some
Mm-hmm.
people you'll hire a driver to your route, and it may be going up the mountain, it may be going to West Coast, it may be going to East Coast, and they're not familiar with it. So I don't know, dude. I also think about consistency, but I also think about equipping the right driver with the right routes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And my guy Musa, like he said, trailer too. And with the knowing the trailer and knowing what trailers you have, but also being a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want to be stuck with drive in. We talked to a guy on the
Mhm.
last live, and I asked him. I said, we asked him, what you doing? He said, oh, I'm doing drive man. I said, well, Won't you do flatbed? I don't want to do flatbed. I said, okay. If you getting 7 to 8 grand a week in flatbed, would you do it? Nah, man, I'm worried about the winters. That's not the type of attitude you have. You say
No,
if I'm getting 7 to 8K doing flatbed, where's the straps and chains, brother?
correct,
That's
Word.
the type of energy you gotta have, and you
correct,
gotta be able. What Alante always says is pivot. If the money's right there, learn that skill and pivot into that until the thing that you really want to do gets better.
one
See
hundred
that
percent.
I feel like that's a huge problem with truckers right now. They just want to stay in one lane. And then a lot of drive van people, a lot of people that's complaining about the rates is drive van people.
Yep.
I tell you that right now. I know people in flatbed. I know people in RGN. I know
Chill,
people doing
Marcus. You hurting
reefer.
feelings. You
You
hurting
know,
feelings.
that's what it is. The people that's complaining about the industry right now is doing drive van.
That's a fact. That's a
That's the only
fact.
people that's complaining.
That's a
That's the only
fact.
people that's complaining is people in drive van.
That's a fact. Little reefer here and there.
Hey Marcus. Marcus, this guy in the comments, J Love, keep asking how much experience we got.
Well, experience. I've owned a company for about 4 years. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure. TJ, right?
Yep, yep,
TJ,
yep,
what's
yep.
your experience?
So I started off in box truck. Before that, I had a food truck. I had a really successful night food truck next to a nightclub over here in Jersey. Sold
Right.
that back in 2016. I got into the box truck game, right? Then from the box truck, sold that. I got into semi trucks in 2019, 2020. 2019, December 2024, I got my CDL. By April 2020, I already had my first truck, but I had the play lined up, right?
There,
I come from business, so for me it was
there,
an easier leap.
there you
But
go. Now,
yes,
Ate, tell them your business experience in the industry.
I almost got 10 years in trucking, almost in like a couple years. I have 10 years. Um, Worked at a sheetrock company, met a guy, said I can make some money with a truck. Got my CDL back in like 2017, late 2017. Got my first truck 2018. 2019, I was already in the field, at least on. I got my authority right when the pandemic, right when things were getting
Right,
crazy, right
right,
before I got my authority. So I remember just being broke as hell because everything was shut down and I had
right,
just got my authority.
right.
New
yeah,
authority mixed with brokers and not moving. So yeah,
So
yeah,
you got
bro.
experience. You got experience. I also have my CDL too,
Me
but
too.
this
Yeah.
this is what I have. I have my CDL too. So before I got my semis, I have my CDL. But this is the thing I have to say to questions like that. If I have 25 years of driving trucks, that doesn't make me a good trucking owner. See, a lot of people want to play you and say you guys are saying all these things about trucking, but how much driving experience you got? It don't matter, bro, because we know the business side. We've
hmm
all made millions in this. We don't
Yep.
really talk money, but we can talk money and say we've all made millions
Yep.
in this industry, right? But I don't like when a lot of truckers they say that. Well, you ain't been driving for 25 years. I don't need to drive for 25 years. It's what my business experience is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
correct,
It's about the business, like you said. Trucking, when you owning a company and you running the business, it's a business. It has nothing to do with driving anymore. See what I'm
correct.
saying? That's all it is. But a
Yeah,
lot
to
of
that,
people like to get on and say that. Well, how long you been driving? It don't matter, bro. It don't matter.
correct,
I
correct.
ran businesses. Like you ran
Yes.
business before, you run businesses now. I
Yeah.
did before and now. We are business people that just are in trucking.
Well, I'm gonna add to that, Marcus. That's the biggest mistake that CDL drivers make. They think, oh, I'm a good driver.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go buy a truck and I'm gonna be successful as an owner. It doesn't work like that. You're a good driver. That doesn't make you qualified to be a good business owner, right? It doesn't make
Exactly.
you qualified to be a successful owner operator.
Exactly.
That's where they get it wrong.
That's
You
that's
might
that's
not even have the testicular fortitude to even deal with the ebbs and flows of the industry, because it take a lot of nuts. Me and Marcus talk about all the time off camera. It take a lot to even deal with the drivers, those 3 a.m. calls. Where even when you do got the money, you still get called at 3 a.m. or you out eat with your family and you're just so happy. Hey, boss, man, something just bad didn't happen. You got to deal with that too, bro. So when we talk about keys don't really matter because if the pressure you have on as an owner, you're a constant problem solver.
Yeah,
You're gonna
exactly.
get better at solving problems, better at solving
Exactly.
problems.
yeah.
So
Exactly. It's
That's why when my clients come to me and they say, "Oh, I want 10 trucks," my first question I ask them is, "Well, how much stress can you handle?"
exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what's your stress tolerance level, and I'll tell you if it's applicable for your situation. You know, because that's every unit is right. It's stressful, right? I got clients that they're like, that's what actually made me open up the management company. Like the stress that comes with that
Right.
of managing a driver. You got a driver calling you out at 1 a.m. because he want to vent. Not happening. Don't call me.
Right.
Don't call me venting.
Right.
You like, listen. And that right there, that's the work, the management, right? Taking care of your equipment, right? How do you properly take care of your equipment, right? And we could go deeper. Routine maintenance, right? Preventative maintenance, right? Like tracking your truck, monitoring your truck,
Yes,
tracking
sir.
your driver, monitoring your driver. There's a whole logistics that go into it outside of the dispatching part. Outside of booking a load, how are you running your business?
This is what
You
I
know?
say about owning a trucking company. I used to play professional basketball, so this is an analogy that I use when I talk to people. I said, when you own a trucking company, imagine you playing against 10 people on the court by yourself.
Mm,
It's you versus 10.
mm.
Mm,
Because you, as an owner, you got to deal with DOT, the driver, the mechanic, the rules,
yeah,
the fuel. You got
The
to deal with
shipper.
everything, bro. And it's
yeah,
you.
yeah,
And you got to go through that every single day. So, yes, truckers do go through their own things when they drive it. Never going to discount that. But imagine the stuff that you got to do when you running a business. It's not easy, bro. That's why a lot of people get in the industry and they get out.
You're
correct.
not even talking about managing the personalities of these baby ass truckers. You got to babysit all these dudes.
I'm telling you, I
We
give it to
love the
my
truckers,
shade.
man, but we keeping it honest. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you gotta
I got
have
my studio
tremendous
too.
patience for these drivers. You
You
really
gotta have
do.
patience, man. Because look, what I come to find out, man. Like I said, when I'm working with truckers, man, and me and Alante talk about this all the time. Truckers are probably the most underappreciated people in the blue collar industry. So I get it. I get it, bro. So when you
Yeah,
talking to them, man, they going through stuff. You can just tell like nobody hearing them out, and they
Word.
expect you to hear them out. So sometimes you got to be a therapist, bro. So that's another hat you got to put on. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because you got to
yeah,
make sure his mind is right. Because
yeah,
he driving 80,000 pounds. You
yeah,
see what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I got to make sure that you can get this out. So when you wake up tomorrow, you fresh. I done talked to drivers about divorce, baby mamas, ain't having no money. I've been talking to drivers about all type of stuff that I thought I'd never talk to drivers about. But I got to
Mm-hmm.
do that because at the end of the day, if you don't vent to me and you got that pent up energy when you driving, bro, that's a disaster. I'm looking out for the safety of the road. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand, man. When you own a trucking company, man, you have your great times, man. The money coming in, but then you're gonna have them times you're gonna be like, "Why? What did I get myself into?" So you got to, like you said, how much stress can you take?
Yeah.
Some people can only take stress on only one truck. I'm on one truck, bro, with one driver. You know, that. It's just depending on you, because once you really in it, bro, it started getting real. And then, like you said, and your pockets. Now your pockets is, you know what I'm saying? Now your pockets getting hit.
Money
So
go fast.
money
Yeah,
go fast. Sometimes you become a pass through. You get it
yeah,
and you pay somebody else.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Water.
saying?
Yep.
So how can you got to understand when you owning a company, and that's what we telling people, and that's what we teaching people. It's like it's great. You can be successful in it, but here's what you're gonna have to expect. And I agree with Truck and Barbie. What she said is, the internet will make it look like it's sweet. It's
It's
sweet to
not
own a
sweet.
trucking company. And I think what we all coming from when we talking about it, we not bashing nobody. We just telling the truth.
Yeah,
Because it's better to know the truth before you hop in it. You like, man, you know what? I saw that live, man. They was right. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It was right. So that's all it is.
Business ain't sweet. It ain't just trucking.
Yeah, it's
When
business.
people say that's it's not just business. Like I know people that got horror stories in real estate, in
True.
e-commerce,
True.
in brick and mortar. I come from brick and mortar, right? My
Right.
grandfather, he had 3 sneaker stores. We had bars. Like it was. I come from brick and mortar. Like
Right.
business in general don't matter. Like you name a business, and I'll tell you it ain't sweet.
Right.
It's just
Right.
that's just how it comes, right?
Right.
The business side is very important.
More money, more problems. Biggie said it the best for all my
More
East
money,
Coast
more
folks.
problems. More money, more problems. No, for real. No, for real.
It's for
But
real though. Man, we gonna any business, bro, but no matter what you do, man, when more money comes in, you're gonna have more issues. But it's how you deal with it, it's how you pivot, it's how you keep going, right?
yeah,
That's just what it is. That's any business. That's life, bro. That's
Yeah.
life. You're gonna be
Yeah.
hit with all type of stuff in your life. You're gonna be like, you know what, bro? Let me figure this out because you know why? If you don't figure out now, it's gonna happen again. So at least if it happens now, you figure out the solution. You can tackle it in the future. And that's just like trucking, right?
Yeah.
This happened with this truck. Okay, so now I know for sure when this happened again, I know how to get through that to save me some money or make sure my driver is cool.
Correct. And that's and for any CDL drivers that's out there, right? I talk about and I call myself the CDL CEO,
Yep.
Okay. I
right?
like
And that's and that's about creating your own economy of opportunity, right?
True.
It's not it's about taking control of your life, right?
Yep.
Being the chief executive officer of your life.
Yes,
Like
sir.
what do you want, right? When I'm working with a client, what do you want? You might not want what I want.
Right.
That might be too aggressive for you, right? You might want more than what I want, right?
Right.
Like what do you want? Let's assess your situation, right? Everybody, right? 9 out of 10 times they want the same destination, but they don't start at the same starting point, right? Where are
Right.
you at right now in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's assess that, and then we could talk about that roadmap. I know how to get to where you want, but let's first figure out where you're at. So for any drivers out there, they're contemplating on what they want to do, right?
Right.
What's the path? Obviously, get a coach, hit up Marcus, right? Hit up somebody where that they've been through the path, they did the thing that you're trying to do, right? They're there,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing it, they did it, and it could just save you so much money, so much time, so much headache, and it could level up your life. I don't seen people go from CDL drivers to owner operators change, life change, right? If you do it right, it could, but it could also hurt you if you don't do it right. So yield carefully, like any business.
But
Yield carefully.
anything in life, man, and business and period, it's all about the education. I've always been a push ever since we've been doing this social media thing. Alante, no, I always talk about education.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you got to get education from me because everybody on social media be saying stuff. Look, you got to figure out where you want to get your education.
that's
Okay,
it.
but
Right.
I would definitely advise you to learn before you earn. That's what I used to say. Learn before you earn. If you want to be an owner operator, talk to somebody, whoever you choose to talk to. I'm not saying you have to talk to me, but find somebody that you can learn the game from. Learn like, okay, what's the pitfalls? If somebody telling you everything is sweet, that's not the person you want to learn the game from.
Correct.
That's not the person you want to learn the game from. You want to learn from somebody that's going to say, hey, this is the pitfalls, bro. This is what you got to
Correct.
watch out for.
Avoid
First of
this.
all, you
Avoid
want to
that.
be an owner operator. What's your money looking like? How much money you got in the bank? That's a huge question.
Yeah. How much leverage you got?
How much leverage you got? Those are questions because why are we asking that? We're not asking that to make fun of you, but we asking you that because if you got a little bit of money and then that tire go out or
Mm.
that engine go out, you got a
Mm.
business.
Done.
How much
Finito.
how much money you got to put down for insurance, Alante?
depending on the state, 46 grand. And depending on how many trucks you got, 46
46
grand normal.
grand. 46 grand off the rip. You got to put down. Then you
Yeah.
got to buy a truck or lease a truck or finance a truck.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
have bread. You got to have bread. And we're not telling you that you can't be an owner operator, but that's why we always say learn this stuff before you do it and say, like you said, write it down. I got a spreadsheet too where you can get the spreadsheet to see all your costs before you become an owner operator. You can put everything together and be like, do I have that? Okay, I
Boom.
got that, but times it by two. Why do I need times it by two? Because just in case something happens, and like you said, you need 6 months of leeway because you're not gonna make money right away.
Minimum.
See what I'm saying? So we telling people these things because we tired of seeing people fail.
Correct.
People fail because there's no education. You don't want to learn. You want to chase the bread. You see all this money that this guy got. You see the chrome trucks and all that, but you're not willing to learn what he learned. You're not
Yeah.
knowing that this dude been in the industry for 10, 15 years before he got to where he at. He didn't start off like that.
You also ain't see the struggles. You don't see the
the
struggles.
struggles. The
You don't see
struggles.
it. You don't see it. John Maxwell, right? I went to a conference the other day. John Maxwell talks about the beauty of having the wins with the losses,
Right.
right? You know, you when you're losing and you have a win, right? It gives you confidence, right?
Right.
When you're winning and you catch a L, it humbles you,
Yep.
right? So, winning all the time is a lousy teacher,
Mm-hmm.
right? Losing sometimes you gotta, right? It just it allows you to re-enter at a higher level, right? You was here, you messed up, you learn from your mistake. When you re-enter, you learn. Coaching is very important, right? And I say this not just to say it. I've personally spent $32,000 on my own coaching, right?
Right.
I'm a 10x business coach. If you know Grant Cardone,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm part of his business coaching program, and the value that you get by just, oh, this is it. This is what I got to do, right?
Hmm.
You get the confidence, you get the
Hmm.
confident booster, you get the clarity.
Exactly.
You
You're
get the
not guessing.
clarity.
You're not
No more
guessing at all.
guesswork. No
You're
more
not
guesswork.
guessing. This is the wrong
Increase your
industry.
odds.
This is for sure the wrong industry to be guessing in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh
There's
yeah,
a
you're
lot
gonna
of
learn the hard way.
there's some there's some
Yeah.
business you can do like e-commerce. You can do some other things and kind of go off the strip of a YouTube.
Yeah.
But this is the wrong business because, like I said, every L cost. It's a
Every outcome.
cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand about your truck being in DOT compliance, that's a cost. If you don't
Yeah.
understand about what you should look for when you get insurance and you're working with the wrong insurance agent and they throwing extra money on top,
They
that's a
do that.
cost.
They do
You see
that.
what I'm saying? Like, these are things in this industry that you got to be like, you know what, bro? If I'm gonna spend all this bread, let me put a little. All this money you got, it's like you got an insurance policy on the money that you invest in. Because this
Mhm.
person, whoever you talk to, it ain't got to be me, it ain't got to be none of us on here, but whoever you talk to should tell you the whole landscape. So, like you said, you looking like, okay, cool. Now I got a game plan. Because if you invest in all this money, why would you not have a game plan? Why would you not have somebody to say, hey, this is what you got to do right here?
Yeah.
That's what
You
you
know
need,
how many
bro.
you know how many people you know how many people come to me daily and tell me, okay, I'm about to start a trucking company. I'm gonna need some insurance. I said, okay, what are you hauling? Oh, I don't know. A broker told me I'm gonna make $20,000 next week. I'm like, well, you
Not
don't know what you're gonna
happening.
haul. You don't know what trailer you have. What trailer do you got? Uh, uh, you should at least know what freaking kind of what kind of you gonna haul reefer, flatbed. You don't even know that. So nah, bro. I think a lot of people come in this industry guessing, and they throw money at it thinking it's gonna return. But this probably the most stupidest industry you can get in, and just throw money at it and think it's gonna be coming back to you. It don't work like that.
It
It'd be a
don't.
money hole.
Yeah. Yo, clip that up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the king of the clips.
Nah, for real.
He get
Like,
all the
nah, it's the
clips though.
word. The
Hey, he
worst
get all the
industry.
clips. He get all the clips.
The worst industry to get in if you don't know what you're doing. No, for real.
Right, for real.
It's not easy. It's not. It's a business. Treat it like it. Like, give it some respect. There's a lot of money to be made in trucking. I love your optimism around trucking. And I have the same, right. Like, there's too much negativity sometimes, right.
Yeah,
Not enough good energy. Not enough in the right direction. Not enough people like you and me that can say, wait, hold up. You could do it right.
yeah.
You could do it right. There's a way to do it right.
I got people in my club right now that I talk to. We got a private chat. There's people in there. They making $5, $6, $7 a mile. So
Lovely.
what do we say? What do we say?
Right.
What do we say to people out there that said the industry is nothing? But I got multiple people in my club in my private chat making that much money, and they're not just doing local runs. They going over the road. So what do we say about that? So is that person just a one lucky person? No, he worked hard and got that situation to be laughing at everybody that's complaining about the industry right now.
Mm,
I'll put it like this: a lot of people don't want to work hard. The
mm.
people that's complaining don't want to work hard because there's people out there working hard. They ain't saying nothing about no brokers because they don't work with brokers.
Facts.
Correct.
You worry about broker transparency. I'm not.
Uh,
Who cares about broker transparency? I'm working with the shipper.
uh.
Mhm.
So if you worry about broker transparency, you got to look at yourself and say, you know what? My business plan is wrong. I'm doing the
Correct.
wrong thing if I'm worried about what brokers is doing. It's easy, bro.
Mm.
But like you said, you got to talk to somebody and have somebody on your side, mentor, whatever. I'm not saying me. I'm not saying any of us on here, but have somebody
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
tell you the game and tell you this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying you guys are. If you're gonna get anybody to mentor you guys are fucking awesome. You know, my man's in New Jersey. They have to have that 1.5, so he has to make a certain amount of revenue to keep that $1.5 million insurance. How does that $1.5 million insurance in Jersey affect your company?
you know, when it changed, there was a lot of questions around it. As far as Payment wise, it went up slightly, but we already used to high. I mean, like Cali, we already used to inflation. That
Yeah.
honestly, like really, you making 100,000 in the tri-state area, you really still tight broke. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
we've been used to this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. High,
Like
high is
Yeah.
high. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm
high is
saying?
high.
It's a
Like
couple extra
yeah,
$100. I don't care. Like, I'm already paying $5 a gallon gas
correct.
and
I mean,
diesel,
yeah,
like 5.50. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
so I mean,
That's some people in Georgia.
well, you got a
They
lot of
upset.
people opening up their companies over there, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they're playing the out of state game. They're
Yep.
trying to play this. They're trying to figure out. I mean, but for the ones that play the out of state game and they do that, I mean, kudos to them. But I mean, really, if you started off here, and you know what you're doing. Really, at the end of the day, you're gonna make money.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you. Whether it's gonna be a little more expensive, it's gonna be a little bit more cheaper. There's some things you got. I got some people over in Jersey and New York. They go to PA because Allentown, PA, got lower rates.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They going over there, the outskirts of Philly. They getting themselves a little yard, a little location, and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of they doing it like that. But they still close to Jersey and New York, so they still got the Mecca.
Right.
But
Right. So they able to get over there real quick and then go back.
they piggyback into PA play, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they do that. So you I mean, there's some people you explore your options, right? So it's just there's no one way to do it. You have to just know what options are available to you so you can make an educated decision.
Knowing what you want to do, basically.
No, knowing
What
what you
you
want
want
to
to
do.
do. Like Alante said, you get into the industry and then you saying, I don't know what type of freight I'm gonna do.
No.
You gotta know, you gotta have a game plan. Would you just say have a game plan? What do you have what are you trying to do? If you
Yeah,
don't have a game plan, and I tell people, there's nothing wrong with being a company driver. I tell
nothing
people this
wrong.
all the time. There's
Nothing
nothing
wrong.
wrong with being a company driver if you with a good company and got what? Consistent freight.
Amen.
Correct.
Everybody want to chase that owner operator money, and I understand you want to be your own boss,
Yep.
but there's nothing wrong with being an owner operator and learning the game. I honestly think that people should. I've seen. What I think is you should be at least be in the game as a company driver for 3 years before you even think about being an owner operator. I've seen some people say some people should be in the game or company driver for 5 years before they become a owner operator. What do you guys think about that? How long do you think somebody should be a company driver before they hop into that owner operator lifestyle?
Hey, TJ.
All right. So here's what it depends. I'm always gonna go. It depends. I'm like
Right, 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 right.
I'm super like who are you type of approach.
Yep.
But if there's somebody that's on the fence and they're really comfortable and they like their company job and they like they like their route, they like the company that they're with and they're very comfortable, but they want more, right? They got that itch to want more.
Right.
And I've got clients that I've helped
Say
look
no, no. My bad.
stay a company driver
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then and buy a truck and put that truck to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep your job. There's nothing wrong with doing both, right? Keep your job. If you like your route and you're making money, you home every night with your shorty
Mm-hmm.
and go buy a truck,
Right.
right? Go 70-30 with a driver or 50-50 on the net, right? Whatever
Mm-hmm.
your pay structure is and put that truck to work and let that truck make you an extra stack, extra $1,500. And then
Right.
you start to learn the game until you feel comfortable
Right.
going out by yourself, if that's what you choose.
Right.
If that's what you choose. But if you like your job, man, stay. It's a beautiful thing.
What you think, Alante?
Well, I'm all about low overhead. So I'm going to approach it from an analytical insurance perspective. I know that when you approach the market and you have 2 or more years experience, your insurance rates are way cheaper than somebody who's a year in
Mm.
and perhaps young. Let's say you're young. Let's say you're under 30, you have a year experience. Your insurance can be about 60% higher than the average person who doesn't have the similar adequate experience. So yeah, 2 years is good. 2 years, I think 2 years will give you enough time to come in, bump your head, get knowledge, drive somebody else stuff, mess their gear stuff up, a bigger company, you know, you ain't get your truck. But I'm with bro because it depends. Like
Right. It depends. Yeah. True.
I got in the game, no bro. When I got my truck, bro, I was working for a company, McLean. I was a yard dog. I was on a load board, DAT, the free load board at the time, every day looking at loads. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, I do this one. I do this one. Oh, $600 to go to Savannah. I'm making $800 a week. Oh, I can make this in a day. You when you start studying, you start training your mind on what routes you
Because
know,
you
that
think
you
like a
think,
businessman.
yeah, you start. So
I
it
ain't gonna
depends who
lie.
you are.
I said what I said, 3 years minimum, because what I experienced it with drivers and stuff like that. But when I
Yeah,
got to the industry, I just jumped in. I
I
got
know
my
you
thing.
did.
Three
I
months.
just,
3 months. I jumped in.
I just jumped
Yeah,
in, bro. I said, we're gonna
yeah.
figure this out. You know what
Word.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I mean, it worked. It worked. It
but,
worked.
but like you
All three
said, like you
entrepreneurs though.
said, it depends what type of person you are, right? I
Yeah.
was like, look, I ain't working for no company, bro. CDL me. I started off with a box truck too, right? I started off
Okay.
with a box truck, then I transitioned to semi truck. But I was like, once I got my CDL, I'm like, bump it, bro. We're gonna figure this out.
I'm going. Yeah,
Word.
I know what I came for.
Yeah, I know what I came
Did
for,
you
but
get your
like I said,
CDL?
it depends on what type of person you are. It depends on what type of person you are. So I agree with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking at everybody else, I'd be like, look, man, you need at least 3 years. Just the stuff you, because the people ask me about, bro, you don't even know the driving side yet, and you want to get over here, bro, and you don't even know the business side yet. And it's like, bro, just get your experience. But I ain't gonna lie, man, I ain't gonna be, I'm gonna clip this. But look, I jumped into it, and I came out cool. You know what I'm saying? But what's the
Yeah.
percentages of that happening?
Yeah, yeah. Not likely. Not like.
Not likely.
Not like. Well,
I'm probably in the 5%. We probably in the 5% with it. You know what I'm saying? 5%
well,
success rate. So
if you're trying to start off, if you're trying to start off fast, right?
yeah.
If you're trying to start off fast, I say this: start with a company that hire both, like we talked about. Network with management, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like build a relationship with the current owner operators, right? If they have independent contractors already with that organization, talk to
Right.
them.
Right.
Can I see a settlement? What does the
Mm-hmm.
money look like?
Right.
Right? You can't go into things blindsided. You really gotta analyze it. You gotta make a conscious decision of, right. You gotta weigh out the risk, right? You gotta have that risk assessment on, okay, the numbers look good. I like this company. Like, that's the best way to start. Low barrier, right? Low risk, high reward, but you vetted it out properly. And that's how I did it with 3 months. And I got in, man. I was fortunate enough. I got into special minerals off
Wow.
Jump Street,
Wow.
right? I got out. I was killing it in the box truck. I was doing the whole Manhattan, Midtown,
Right.
Uptown. We was doing the
Yep.
whole Manhattan. I was doing like 30 stops a night, killing it in the box truck. Really, like
My wife
reefer.
is from New York, and I went there. I was like, I don't know how they do it.
Nah, yeah, not for real. Yeah,
I was
it's
like, I
it's
don't know how they do
terrible.
it out here.
You gotta be out. You gotta be out of the city by 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. You hitting traffic,
Mm.
Wow.
right? So it what? So I had a brother. He goes. He's been in trucking. At that point, he was already in trucking for like 10 years. He said, "Yo, you killing it over there in box truck? Come over here." He was like, "I got this company over here. I will get you in." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go in. Then I want to know what it's like," because he was like, "They hire. You can get your own truck here too." I said,
Wow.
"Okay." I went in, and I was fortunate enough to experience what it's like to work with a super dedicated domestic product, right? So it's kind of like you're doing dump trucks, or you're doing like garbage
Yeah.
hauling.
Yeah.
One of and I teach this with my clients, so this is like super sauce, and I hope your audience really listens, right? Special minerals, right? Like minerals from the ground, right? It's just domestic product. That's there's so much work out there, right? Limestone, granules, like different sands and products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even for the fracking, right?
Yeah.
Even for the
Yeah.
fracking.
Fraction. Yeah. Fraction. Yeah.
Anybody in oil fields right now is starting to bubble up. 2026 is out of here. It's out of here. All the regulations that passed earlier this year, it's all gonna start really, really going in effect as it starts rolling out, right? Everything over time. So you're
I'm a
gonna start that's special minerals.
I'm gonna clip this, and they still ain't gonna believe us.
They ain't gonna, yeah.
They ain't gonna believe us, bro. They ain't gonna believe us. How important it is? How important is it for a trucker that wants to be an owner operator to network? How important is that?
Super important.
Mm.
The most important.
Mm-hmm.
Um that's you say network, I'm gonna translate that into leverage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like where's your relationship lies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like do you have carriers, right? Do
Right.
you have work? Do you have access, right?
Right.
Whether it's to money, whether it's to work, whether it's to resources, you need some type of network. You don't got to be marketing network king, right? You
Right.
don't got to be this guy where you're going to events. You just got to know a handful of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's going to support your economy.
Right.
right? That's like, listen, you're a good trucker. You got a good truck. I know somebody, right? The owner operator, the trucker community is strong. Very, very. It's very, very like you see a trucker. I see a trucker on the road. Like, what you haul? All right,
Mhm.
cool. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of camaraderie, right? And if you tell somebody something, the word they'll always share it. I mean, I don't know. There's some people out there that be gatekeeping. I can't speak for those people.
Yeah.
I can't speak for those people, but for the most part, you'll talk to a trucker. Hey, yo, who you haul for? You got a number? They'll give it to you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so you just highway is the big key. You see, you ever been on the highway, wrote the company down?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, I see y'all hauling. What y'all hauling, man? I see y'all every week. I see y'all every day on the freeway. What y'all doing? Well, y'all
Yeah,
looking for owner operators? Oh yeah, we actually. Oh, shock. Here I come.
boom. No, for real, that's how it
For
works.
real,
Yeah,
that's how it works.
yeah.
What you think, Alante, about networking? What do you? How important is it?
I think networking. I look at it. I've simplified. I like to tell my people to just go get out of the truck and go talk to the shippers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Go inside, have a conversation with the lady at the counter. Me and Marcus talk about it. How I used to send donuts in, and I come in and I talk to the people that actually work in the receiving, and then I work. I weasel my way up to the office, and I got a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I get to the contract, my talk game crazy.
Right.
I'm gonna,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something slick,
Right.
and I'm gonna get the contract. And most truckers, you know, they run, they deliver, you know, they deliver on time, they get there, they get everything safe, and they just come back, but they don't have a conversation with the people who actually give them the freight. You gotta
correct.
get that truck to talk. We'll talk on our phones all day.
Right.
We'll talk to our old lady. We'll
Mm-hmm.
talk to our kids. We talk to our side people, whatever they got. But they do not get, for whatever reason, when it comes to, that's when you got to put your business hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
For whatever reason, when it comes to talking to that receiver or that shipper, they are like children in daycare. Once again, they're just, you know, you got to get out inside yourself, man.
Yeah,
correct.
I definitely feel the same way. I feel like, don't be scared to talk to people. You're a business. And we talk about that. A lot of businesses have the relationship because they schmoozing and they talking to people. You always wonder like, how's this person get that? Oh, it's because they went up in there and talking. It's
Mm,
very simple, but a lot of truckers don't want to do that. And I get it because you're in the truck by yourself. You don't really want to conversate. But if you want to make more money and be in charge of your money and be your own CDL CEO, right? That definitely comes with the territory as running a trucking business or being an owner operator. Because
yeah.
those relationships is what make you money. I got one of my biggest contracts off of LinkedIn, going on
Mm,
LinkedIn and hitting them logistics managers. And the next you know, I'm talking to them on the phone. I'm coming to the offices in Arizona. And now I got a big time contract because
boom.
I wasn't scared to hit people up and talk to people. So that's a skill that you have to have because if you don't have that skill, then you will forever be working for somebody. Because when people talk about brokers, all the brokers did was talk to somebody. That's the difference between a broker and a trucker.
Facts.
All they did was pick up the phone and maybe they got rejected 100 times, but then they got that one person that answered and they got that contract. That's all the
Correct.
broker did.
That's
That's
it.
all they did, bro. So
Yeah.
how can you get mad at a broker when they're doing a thing that you won't do, that you refuse to do?
Hmm.
Mm,
So be the broker, bro. Call the phone. Get rejected 100. You know how many times I done talked to people and got rejected, bro? That comes with the
yeah.
territory. But you just wishing like, man, I just need that one person to answer, that
Word.
one person to give me a call.
That's all you
You
need.
get that person, and then now you doing good.
Bro,
That's all you need.
I had my broker, Jim. You know, at the time, I had my wife cold calling. She hates cold calling because people be rude. But
Mm-hmm.
I got thick skin. I don't care about getting told no. I had this really good load in Chicago coming to Atlanta. I forgot how much it was, but I remember like just keep calling about it. He was an asshole, but I was like, that shit. You know, I was kind of fucking with him being mean to me type shit. So word. So one day he had flew to Atlanta and he was like, hey man, I want to get up with you. You know, you always calling me. So XPO had took him out to eat. That's where I started getting the idea of sending food in. XPO had took him out to eat. The lows were, he had some local lows in Atlanta going to like Florida. They were like 6,000 pounds,
Oh wow.
paying crazy money, bro. But how I got the contract was, bro, was being persistent and just having a talk game and not being afraid to talk to people, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand the correlation of how you can run a business and you're not willing to step outside yourself for something that could change your life.
Mm,
Because you really whether that's trucking, any business, you one phone call away.
Yeah.
You one person away. You know what I'm saying? And people don't think about it like that.
One
You
relationship.
really one person away to give you that yes.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And your life changes. It does. You like, damn, I'm really getting it now.
Yep.
It's because that one person gave you a chance and because you were persistent.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna ask you because I know you say you walk into shippers and you go in, you try to go out with the contract. Just I mean, for the people, what is that icebreaker? Like, how do you approach that conversation when you're going in, right? Because some people they need confidence, they need like that quick little win, right? Some people need that momentum.
Right.
They need somebody to actually have a conversation with them first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if you getting banged on every time you try to have a conversation, it's tough. That's tough.
It
Well,
is
You need
tough.
a little,
I'll put it like this, man. I'm tall. I'm 6'8".
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's
Right.
tall.
I'm
Dang.
tall.
There
So when I walk in, boom, that's my
you go.
gift. Right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm the
Icebreaker.
icebreaker for
Yeah, yeah,
me.
yeah.
For me. For somebody else, it could be their humor. For
Mm,
somebody else, they can be talking about the weather. For
yeah,
somebody else, they can look at that person. Hey man, where you get them shoes from? Hey man, where you get that? Hey, I see you got that tool. Where you get that tool from?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can you can look at somebody, give them a compliment, and that could be
Right.
your icebreaker. It
Yep.
ain't gotta be you. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you got your haircut, man. You look fresh, bro. Like, where you get that from? I'm in town, I'm trying to get a cut. Oh, I'll go over here, over here. Icebreaker.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes it's cool just to start with a compliment, bro.
Yep.
yeah.
Compliment them. You
Yep.
take
Correct.
care of them because you know what I tell you? Every time I get on the elevator in my office, one thing I always tell my kids, you see somebody, you say good morning.
Mm,
How are you doing? Just out the blue. I
correct.
said, because you never understand the amount of responses you will get. Like people are like surprised. Oh, well, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Icebreaker. Just by
I,
saying hello, how you doing? How's your day? How's everything going at work, man?
yeah,
Man, I'm going through some shit, man. That sucks too, bro. Blah, blah, blah. Now you're doing rapport.
yeah,
The icebreaker is easy, bro.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But you
just smile. I mean,
smile,
listen,
bro.
it's easy over here in the tri-state area because everybody got a mean mug,
Oh
Facts.
right?
man,
I
y'all
mean,
do got
you
a
Yeah.
mean
you
mug.
walk into the room smiling, you different
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
Icebreaker.
yeah. Like, what's
You
up
know what
with
I
you?
mean?
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
What's this guy all happy about?
yeah, so exactly. Like, let me get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I want some
Correct.
of that
Yeah.
happiness. Like, why are you so happy? And you
Yeah.
rub up on people, and that's what happens, bro. But it's not too complicated. But then when you're talking to people, and then you get into the position of talking to a logistics manager, now you gotta let your knowledge and experience kick in. Because now you learning the market, you understand the market, you understand trucking, you
Mm-hmm.
understand what's going on. So now when you're talking to the right people, that's what's going to get you those contracts. Because they be like, man, you know what you're talking about.
Facts.
You know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the icebreaker is easy, bro. I feel like females got the easiest icebreaker, right? Ain't no man gonna say not saying anything to a female, right?
For sure. For
It's
sure.
just compliment somebody. When in doubt, compliment somebody. Look at somebody and see something that they got nice. Hey man, where you get that safety vest from, man? I was looking for that safety vest, the one with the
Yeah.
pockets up here.
Yeah,
I was
this
looking
one?
for that. Yeah, where
Amazon.
you get that
Yeah.
from? Hype it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh man, it
you
look
got
good on you, man. I'm gonna get one
hey
just
man,
like that.
hey man, hey, why am I only got the two highlighters, bro? I'm trying to get you got the three? Where'd you get that from, bro?
uh,
But
uh,
but see,
Hype him
Marcus,
up, bro.
it also details a plan. When you go to a consistent shipper and you know they got some good freight, you've been there one, two, three, 4 times. Hopefully, within that third or fourth time, they recognize you and you gain some positive rapport. Once you
right.
gain positive rapport, you have a slight foot in the door. You maybe know the person by name. Hey, what's up, TJ? Man, how you doing today, bro? Hey man,
That's important
how
too.
your daughter doing, bro? Man, my
Mm-hmm.
daughter. I don't know if you got a daughter, but man, my
Yeah, I
daughter
got to do
good,
it.
bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
See, and then especially,
Scabbers.
you know what I'm saying? You see
Yeah.
how the game go? Because if
Full
somebody remember
game
I got
though.
a daughter, we all got daughters. But if
Mm-hmm.
you
yeah,
remember, if
yeah.
I know you got a daughter, you know I got a daughter. Then I sent some donuts in to the warehouse, and they say, man, who's sending that? Oh man, Marcus sending it. Oh, you talking about the guy with the daughters, man? Who drive the red truck? Oh man, he cool as hell. He asked me about my jacket. You
Yeah,
line the dots up. I'm in Atlanta, baby. It's all about finesse. And
right.
once you in that door, you say what you gotta say, bro. And you
And
Correct.
and you lead with work. You're on time.
Yep.
You're clean. You're precise. You're
Mm.
nice.
Mm.
You're clean. You smell good. All
Look
these are
look
key
the job.
points.
Look the part. Look the part.
Look the
Yeah, yeah,
part.
yeah,
Because when somebody looks at you,
Exuberate confidence, and they'll come back to me.
one
when
hundred
somebody
percent.
looks at you, bro, they're gonna look you up and down without you even knowing it.
For sure.
They're gonna look at your appearance. Are you put
Yeah,
together? Because if that's your truck and that's your business and you not put together, what they gonna think about your business? This dude ain't put together. He don't even look like he care.
Hmm.
right.
And you could be talking to the logistics manager, don't even know it, but he looking you up and down, and you looking like toe up.
Yeah,
Nah, I ain't gonna get him an opportunity. I don't care. I don't care what he says
yeah. I got a
because
hot take. I got a hot take for you, Mark.
go ahead.
Both of you guys. I know you said you did a little box truck. What you think about box truck and semi truck for the ones that say box truck? Where is that?
Ooh.
Hot take.
Go. I got a lot of hot takes. Go ahead, Latte. We gotta get it. Latte
I'm
go
gonna go.
first,
I'm
then
gonna
I'll
go
go.
though
I'll go after
because
you.
I'm not well. I'm gonna go because I'm not well versed on this. Like market about to go off.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, man, don't put that on me, man. Don't put that on me. I'm realistic, but go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's a small part of the pie. I mean, I think the craze is just what it is. It's just the craze that people get in the door, and it sounds sweet because you can go to Ryder, especially not CDLs. You can go to Ryder, you can go to Penske, get a truck and get a DOT and get on the road. But I don't think they're making no money because they don't have the capacity as a large truck does.
Yeah,
Oh, so on
Yeah,
me. Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Go
it's on
ahead,
you.
okay.
Marcus. What you
Look,
got?
I started with a box truck, so I'm speaking from experience. So anybody that say anything, especially about this take that I'm about to take, if I had to take on there, it already got a lot of views, right? When I got my box, I can say this about box truck. I wish I would never started out with a box truck. Knowing what I
Mm,
know about semis, the flexibility, semis can do way more things. What I should have did was I should have just waited, got my CDL, and then I got my semi truck. The biggest thing about me, I was impatient in the beginning. I'm a man to say that. So I jumped into the box truck. But at that time when I bought my box truck, it was like 140, 150 because it was crazy. I could have bought 2, 3 semis for that. See what I'm saying? But I got jumped into the box truck situation. And when I'm driving my box truck, I'm like, man, I can't get that many loads. So you stuck in a box. Literally.
mm,
There's only so much you can do in the box truck, especially out here in Cali. You know, it's not like how it is in New York where you can do 30 stops and all that. We ain't got that situation here in Cali like that.
yeah,
So, and then, you try to do over the road, you try to do all that. So once I got my semi trucks, I let my box truck sit for 6, 7 months. I didn't even do nothing with it. So I understand why people want to get into box trucks because it's easier to get in. That's what we talk about at this industry. People want to find the easy way to get in. But there's a lot of people that ask me in my DMs, man, I got this box truck. What do I do? There's not much you can do. You stuck. And then I always tell
yeah.
people that fight me back on it. I said, name me a business that you can name right off the top of your head that has 100 box trucks in a fleet. There's none.
And not riders.
And not riders, like an actual. The only companies that have a lot of box trucks are distributors. Like we have a big Coca-Cola distributor. They have box trucks, so they're doing deliveries,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But a box truck is not scalable. So if you're trying to scale, you're trying to build something, you don't start with a box truck.
yeah,
Mm.
You get your CDL and you get a trucking company and you start a trucking business. And also we always feel like this. We always talk about this CDL Shorty, which is the third member. He always talks about this. If you get a trucking company, have your CDL.
yeah.
I firmly believe in that because you need to have that CDL just in case something happened with that truck and you can hop in there yourself.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's what I think.
Yeah, I listen. I agree with you. I think I know the convenience of you don't need a CDL,
Mm-hmm.
but when you in a 26 footer, like when if you had it and you hit it on the money, right? Like if I wish I would have never bought the box truck first. Me too, right? Same very
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
situation
yeah.
because I mean, really, let's talk about an investment. I mean, same engine, same tires, same cost for fuel, smaller box,
Same
same
insurance.
engine.
Same engine, same insurance, same
Like what we
insurance.
comparing? Yeah, what we comparing? You're not
Mhm.
comparing a 26 footer or a 16 footer to a 52 footer, right? Like that's not what we doing. What are we really doing? Like if we going if the money's the same, repairs ain't cheaper on a box truck.
Nope.
It's really not.
So
You know, and I
all this is comparing is the person. Are you
Correct.
lazy and just want to jump in the industry, or are you going to be smart and get your CDL and jump in the industry right?
Correct.
That's all it comes
Correct.
down to. So the measurement doesn't come to the vehicle; it comes down to the person trying to get into the industry.
Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
lazy and you don't want to get a CDL? You don't want to go through that? I got my CDL in a month, bro, and I was so mad when I got mine so quick because I was like, damn, I could have just did this before I got my box truck.
So easy.
It was
Some
so
people
easy.
scared. Some
It was,
people scared though.
and,
Yo,
and
Marcus, I got a
exactly
brother. I got a brother. He like 47. Felt it 3 times. It's one of the hardest. Like, you know what's the hardest part?
what?
It's here in his head. It's doing the cab inspection. Like, you know, lights,
Oh,
papa,
yeah,
windows, side mirrors. He fails that every time because he gets in his head. It's the
yeah.
easiest thing. Like if you drive a car, if you drove a box truck, I mean, especially with the automatics. Let me not even get into it, right? I mean,
Right.
I passed my CDL with a manual.
Uh huh.
Mm.
Nobody buy manuals. No company, no trucking company is buying manuals. Only time you're gonna see a manual is if an owner operator bought it. Companies are not buying manuals. So you get in there, you go, you drive that truck. You know what I mean? You really
Oh,
it's like a box truck. It's like a car.
in 2026, Cummins is no longer making their engines with manual transmissions.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No longer doing that. They're doing
Yeah.
all automatics.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Let's see
Yep.
how long that lasts. I don't think it's gonna last.
I think it is because everybody that get in,
I
they
think it
don't want to
is.
drive a manual.
I think it
They
is. I
want
think it is. Yeah.
I
they gonna
Even
do
think.
the
it like
old
these.
school cats. Even the old
I
school
mean,
cats.
they're pushing to put them out as far as like drivers, so you can have a truck and throw a driver after 2 weeks and get in a fucking CDL and have them on the road. I get that,
Yeah,
but I feel like to control the truck better, you need to stick.
for sure.
100%.
Especially if you're hitting them hills. Especially if you got crazy weather.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have control. I definitely understand that. But just the world that we in, man. People, companies is pushing it. You know, mega carriers want people to get up in there quick, and it's just that's just what it is. Automatics is in. Like I said, a lot of these companies, man. Like I talked about it, man. Within 10 years, it used to be flipped. It used to be 90% manual, 10% automatic. Now it's 90% automatic, 10% manual.
Mm.
So they're
Correct.
already pushing it out, and they're the ones saying no automatic because why? That's more people that can get in. So imagine truckers. How many truckers will we have if you had to do a manual requirement? You probably can cut it in half. I'm dead ass because I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
people. I know there's a
Lot.
lot of people that can't do a manual. I know
I
that for
think
sure.
less than half. I ain't gonna lie. I think less than half. Nah, I think less than half. Really? I mean, you got even when I'm hiring, cats in they 40, they're not driving manuals.
Yeah,
They not. And if they know how to do it, they just rather not. Like you
yeah.
got the 50-year-olds, the one that's pushing 60, but even those
Yeah.
gotta be careful when you put them in your truck. You know what I mean?
Oh
Little
yeah.
sleepy head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they the ones, they the only ones. Like it's kind of a dying breed with the manual life. It really
Yeah.
is. It kind of is. There's a new
Yeah.
generation coming up.
For sure, man. That's just what it is. But like that's what it is, man. Just I'm gonna have to get off here, but
Yeah.
TJ, I'm gonna follow you, man. We'll do some more stuff, man, and
Nice to meet you,
some
TJ.
great conversation, man. I'm gonna clip some things up so you see the clips.
You ready?
If you see the collab,
For
make me
sure.
laugh,
Let's
right? Right,
collab. Let's
Alante?
collab. Fellas, I appreciate you too, man.
Yeah,
Marcus, team, yo, great people, man. Great guys. Tap in with me anytime you need something, holler at me.
for sure,
You
man.
got somebody over here on the East Coast, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna
Appreciate you.
follow you,
We'll do it
TJ.
up.
We gotta do
I'll
this
follow you
again because
back.
I got more questions for you, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
do it
do it
again
again.
whenever you're ready. I work from home. I'm in the office all day right now. You know what I
Yup.
mean? Like, whenever you're ready, man, let's lock in, all right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Appreciate you, brother.
Cool. All right.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, Marcus.
All right, Alante.
Peace out.